You are listening to an All Games Radio Network broadcast of allgames.com.
The following is a production featured on geekyantics.net. The views and opinions expressed on this show do not reflect those of Geeky Antics Network, nor are they representative of its partners, affiliates, sponsors, or independent contributors. For a full listing of our syndicated and exclusive shows, as well as their descriptions, ratings, and related links, please visit geekyantics.net/schedule. All music is an original production of the Geeky Antics Network or provided royalty-free courtesy of technoacts.com. That's techno with a K. Viewer and listener discretion is advised, but most of all, enjoy the show!
Hi, this is Normie from Knuckleballer Radio and Zombie Cast, and you're listening to one of my favorite shows on the Geeky Antics Network. Don't forget to check out the rest of the gang over at geekyantics.net. Warning, there might be rants and food ahead and possibly inappropriate behavior. Don't tell anybody though.
You are listening to an All Games Radio Network broadcast of
You're about to listen to the Timey-Wimey Tea Time Podcast, a geekyantics.net and allgames.com production. Find out what everyone's talking about. The Doctor, of course. Doctor Who? Exactly, that Doctor. Join us live at www.twitch.tv/geekyantics. That's GEEKYANTICS. Hang out with us, ask questions, laugh, and have at it. We can't wait to hear what's on your minds and hearts.
Timey-Wimey Tea Time.
Greetings and welcome to Timey-Wimey Tea Time, where friends gather to talk about all things Doctor Who, sci-fi, fantasy, zombies, creativity, and geekdom as a whole. Before we get into the tea time discussions and all that fun stuff that's ahead, some introductions. In the words of Stan Farina, author, friend, former co-host, I'm Yomer Lopez, known throughout the interwebs and sometimes the Whoverse as YogiZilla. And friends at IRL call me Yogi. As Stan has been known to say, I'm a gamer, I'm a dreamer, an author of silliness, a disgruntled techie, a wild-eyed entrepreneur, and a fistful of happy emojicons and sunshine. I ride into the battle upon a glittering My Little Pony. Out of my mouth come laughing swords of peppermint and ginger. But above all, that stuff is all fine and dandy, but I think the most important thing here is that I hope that we can become friends as we embark upon a journey through time and space, the human condition, and merriment/bantering. But folks, welcome to our friends, new and old alike. Today is March 5th, 2016, and this is episode 47 of Timey-Wimey Tea Time, hashtag TWTT. And I apologize, I kind of fudged in the beginning, so those of you on YouTube are going to get a little behind-the-scenes look at something. I messed up the soundboard cue. Oops, I got a little sidetracked. But we have a guest here today. We're going to introduce him shortly. You may know him if you frequent Geeky Antics or All Games community enough. But for this tea time session, we're going to talk more video games because we haven't been giving the video games enough love, and that's kind of awkward because we are on Twitch. And we're going to do a little more of an open dialogue, so we're going to cut out some of the usual news items Yeah, we're gonna see. Actually, for next episode, for episode 48, I want to try something even more different. Yeah, sure, let's go with that. But Obi,
What's up, man?
Obi1X2 is our guest. You may know him from Horseplay Live, a really crappy show that we do. That's really it's so crappy, it's awesome. You know, like a bad B-rate horror movie. He also does the NSFW, Not Safe for Wrestling podcast, and he used to do a show called The Sunday Dose.
Used to could.
Yes. And a reminder, and I'm going to keep saying this, we do keep the show as family friendly as possible, so no cussing.
No swearing.
You know, you might get away with HE double hockey sticks. You know, it's about as far as you'll get. But just be mindful of that. So Obi, at the top of the show, we usually do a little bit of banter. That's kind of our thing on the network. I think there's a few things we should discuss, and I don't even know where to start. Maybe we should talk a little bit about DC's Legends of Tomorrow. I'm thinking that would be a good place to start. There's something else I wanted to talk about too that I think you would be interested in. And now it slipped my mind. I completely brain farted. But you know what? So DC's Legends of Tomorrow. I hooked you into it, and you're into it. I know. I hear you're getting really into it.
Yes, I hate you now. Yeah.
Yes, I heard that too. I heard that. What I like about this show is that I think it does a decent job of filling a void, because we really don't have much science fiction television now. It's weird. There's lots of fantasy stuff, but science fiction not so much. And Doctor Who's on the off season, so like this show, even though it's not comparable to Doctor Who, really, it fills in a little bit of a void there. Because I mean, for Pete's sake, they have Time Masters instead of Time Lords.
Yeah. I was actually really excited when I think I said something like this on Thursday too, but I was really excited when I started watching it. And some of the voids, I don't know if you want to get into it right now, but some of the voids that were put off in Flash, Green Arrow, were like, where are these people at? They're still alive, but where are they at? And now I know where they're at.
Yeah, they kind of just yoinked them. Yeah.
AKA Sarah.
Yep. Yeah. I felt like she had the least amount of closure. Because I'm not a huge, I don't know. Like, I feel like I should relate to Ray Palmer. He's awkward and nerdy, but then at the same time, he tries to be suave and, like, he's a little cocky. And I think that's the part that bothers me. I don't know.
I think that's just, I like it. I do appreciate that character, just because he has a right to be cocky. He's one of the brightest men in the world, and bring up his company from nothing to a multi-billion-dollar business or a multi-billion-dollar company, and he's one of the most advanced tech companies in that setting or in the world, which is just, it's awesome. But on the other hand, I don't really understand why he actually went to the why he actually went to that other show. Why didn't he stay on the Green Arrow? Or why doesn't he have more?
See, that I'm happy about, because I felt like it was a clash of egos, and I was still bitter about I have problems with Oliver, but I still, Oliver Queen, but I still would be on his team. I don't like the way Ray Palmer came in there and just rebranded his company like the family business, and like, did he have to put his name on it? Seriously, I get it. The company wasn't doing that well, so he just decided to like kind of reboot the whole thing. But I don't know. I feel so bitter about that.
Which I really wish, like rebranding the company, I don't really necessarily agree with, but like if he would have been like, yeah, I know you kind of, the company was down, kind of work on some way of making, being able to make sure the company can go back to Oliver, but that would kind of turn the story upside down, how it's going right now.
Yeah, and that's the thing, that they kind of pushed it They did that to push it in a certain direction.
Now it's Felicity's company anyway, so Oliver has the company back anyway. So
spoilers. So yeah, we're gonna talk about shows. So if we talk about shows, pretty
that
much
was like
assume
3 weeks ago, man.
Yeah, but see, that doesn't mean anything because a lot of people do watch these shows a season behind. Like
Well, spoiler alert.
people that watch, at least as far as our audience goes, people that watch that actually still subscribe to cable are in the minority. Because Netflix, Hulu is just a lot more convenient. Amazon Prime, probably one of the best deals out there. You get a lot more bang for your buck. Because what's the cheapest cable plan you could get? What, maybe $30-$50 a month?
And you don't get any channels.
Yeah, you don't get any channels. You're paying for advertisements on top of that. But I know that's how they subsidize everything. But, you're talking about at least $600 a year you spend. Amazon Prime could cost you $80, $100 a year, depending on when you got in on it.
I do appreciate Hulu though. No. How Hulu's setting, change their stuff around where if you have that subscription and you're actually paying that $10 a month, I don't get commercials anymore, which I love it.
Yeah, they got the free model and then they got the subscription model. Yeah, they're doing a good job with that.
I can't wait. I mean, I kind of wish, and this is something that you probably will agree with me, I wish that there was a few more, maybe they keep the whole season up there instead of like the last 4 episodes.
Yeah.
I don't necessarily agree because really I'd like to go back, and there's a couple shows on Hulu that I actually started, watching again, but I can't see the beginning of the season because they're not there.
That's the way Hulu's set up, though. That Hulu, I feel like they cater more to niche things. Like they got the anime. There's, and again, you could probably go to Crunchyroll for that, but they got like a different, the way they do is a little different. They got a different selection. They focus more on the quality ones that have a lot of stuff to choose from. And then they got some of those exclusive shows that are pretty decent. I haven't really gotten into them, but from what I've seen, they got some good exclusive shows. Netflix still kind of has the best deals because they've been around longer, so they have more leverage setting up those deals and having all the seasons and stuff for different shows. So you can go back and watch them. There's a lot of weird stuff. Like I still feel like a lot of these rights holders, these companies are just they're still hanging their hats on cable.
Right.
And they don't really like the on-demand stuff because they feel like it devalues DVD sales or Blu-ray sales. But people still like owning this stuff. There's still a place for that. 100% digital. I don't like it because your hard drive crashes or you lose your account, or if they decide to pull the license back for whatever reason, that's stuff that it's never safe. You
Right,
own the
yeah.
physical media unless someone breaks the disc or whatever. You're good to go.
Yeah, having that physical copy, I do agree with that. Is gives you a little bit more security for your games. But you think
And all
about
kinds, not just games, movies and shows too.
well, movies and shows too, but like having that physical copy does make it better. And we'll talk about it more in depth. But from what I got today, I got 2 extra games, but they're not physical copies. They're actually digital codes. So it's like, oh man, I really don't want that. I mean, is it going to be good? I mean, as long as like, can we just talk about it now?
We're gonna have a whole gaming segment. I know you're excited.
It's in the title. I mean, what can you say?
I know. Yeah, but we'll get it. We'll have a whole segment for gaming. We just gotta take care of the stuff before we go off on rants. That's definitely gonna lead us to a lot of talks and stuff. I know where it's gonna take us, Obi.
Well, I'm trying to make you and Fatal happy at the same time, and I think I've done that.
We've been doing this for a long time. Well, Fatal disappears randomly. You think I'm bad? Good lord. I text a guy and it's like I'll get a reply 3 weeks later.
Yeah, dude. He said he was going to show up yesterday, and then like this morning, he goes, "I didn't forget about you yesterday. I'll be there later this afternoon." I was like, "Well, if you're just now texting me now, then you did forget yesterday." So,
But Oolong
yeah.
is not here, but BFT is here. Never misses a beat. BFT 9000, one of our most dedicated stream team members and mods.
Banhammers.
Banhammer, purveyor of banhammers.
Trolls.
He's a troll. He played both sides of the defense. Yeah.
He is our no. I totally accept it now. He is our resident troll. We can say, hey, who's your resident troll? Because everybody's got one. All Games has got it. We got it. Everybody. Who's your resident troll? The first person I say every single time is BFT. It's not being mean. It's just true.
Yeah, especially when we get into discussions about the consoles. People love saying, and we're talking about the whole what Phil Spencer. I mean, we have a lot of stuff to talk about in gaming, so.
Oh yeah.
We're trying to push forward. It he's not, so BFT says he doesn't try to troll. It just sort of happens. He also says,
Okay.
"Good afternoon, silly people," because we are silly. All right, but what? So Legend of Tomorrow, great show. I know some people are saying it's kind of formulaic. The writing isn't as smart, but that's the beauty of it. It's a fun show. You may not individually. These characters may not be strong, but together they're great, and it's a fun dynamic. It's funny because the two guys that were on Prison Break played together on that, and they're completely different characters. Sometimes they kind of overact.
Mm-hmm.
What's his name? I forget the character's name. The Frost guy, and then you got Fire guy and Ice guy, and Ice guy kind of talks like, "Yeah, see, we're gonna have a plan, see," and I'm like, "What is this like a?"
The partners, the thief partners.
Yeah, the two thieves, and then Mick.
He has that talk.
That's it. Yeah, it's it's very mousy.
It's almost kind of like if you've ever heard a rich, a rich guy, a rich man from like Britain or England or something like that. He has that talk, like you're nothing to me. We gotta have a plan. I love it. And then you have I just want to shoot stuff.
Yeah, that's it. He's like, smash, yeah. Oh, anarchy! I love this.
Can I use this? Yes.
Oh, can I set it on fire? Oh, yeah.
Exactly.
Him, I could do. I had to be really get in the zone to to channel the other voice because he has that mousy thing like he's trying too hard. It's funny, but it also takes you out of it because the DC shows have been trying to be more grounded.
It takes you out of the the whole because when you're paying attention to the show and you're like, okay, this happened, and all of a sudden you hear, but we have to have a plan, and you're like, what? Wait, what just happened? That's cool. Okay.
I just feel like they should queue up with Pinky and the brain. It's totally what you think of. That's who they are. It's just silly.
Hey, Brain, what are we doing today? What we do every day, Pinky. Take over the world.
Yep. But if you could just, not be an elitist snob about it and just enjoy the fact that it's a fun romp, kind of like a Pirates of the Caribbean or any kind of action flick type of thing, you'll enjoy it. And I personally really care about Sarah's character. Not just I find her easy on the eyes, but I like her whole backstory. I like Professor Stein. His new partner, I got used to the other dude, but the new partner is kind of growing on me. They all have different interesting things. The one, what's her face? Hawk Girl or whatever her name is. Her, I'm like, I don't know how I feel about her. Something about her is, I felt like they snuck her into the Flash, and then
she really doesn't fit yet.
Yeah, it's just.
It's like she's like, you have the group, you have Ice and Fire, you have Sarah as the assassin, you have this, and this, and then all of a sudden it's Hawk Girl, and it's like, where does she actually fit into this?
That's the thing. She's supposed to be a huge part of it because she's pretty much the only one that could kill what's his face, Vandal Savage, but.
I want to know when her partner's going to come back.
Right, because he's, that's supposed to happen too.
He's
so that's
supposed
to
be reborn, so
yeah.
Hopefully in the next couple weeks he'll be back.
Yeah, because I wonder, she should be strong on her own. It shouldn't have to be a package deal,
Well, that's what it was, because it was because they're the original name of them were the Valkyries, so it's like the Valkyries. It's not just Valkyrie. in the comics, any of the DC comics, there wasn't Valkyrie. There was the Valkyries, as in plural. So there was always two of them.
Yeah. I
I
kind
think,
of I kind of like that he's not on right now, too, because there was too much of it. He was being really like sensitive about the fact that she wasn't like falling back in love with him or whatever. Remember? That was
yeah,
kind of
but
getting annoying.
that was just something like, when he actually went and he actually got killed, she was like, "Oh my God, I remember how much I love you." It's not at the
Yeah,
point that she wasn't falling in love with him. It was the point that she still didn't remember, and it took that tragedy to actually make her remember. So when he's reborn, I can see it going really well. Or if he's not reborn, it might not work right because they're not together. They didn't die together like they did in the beginning. So,
yeah. It's just interesting. Like I get why that happened, and I know it's just to, like kind of when they're reborn, it takes a while to remember their past lives, and it's kind of a traumatic experience. So then they push it back, and that's what she's kind of been doing.
but they're always together. So you got to think about it now. They're not together now. So you kind of wonder, where's the show gonna go? I
Well,
mean, how is this gonna?
She needs to come into her own, though. I feel like because with him around, he kept like talking about her destiny, and part of that destiny to him was them living happily ever after together. And I'm like, let's move it along. Come on, move it along. So BFT's enjoying the show too. Yeah, it's a great show. I really like it. I definitely like it more than Arrow. Arrow just has too many ups and downs. When it's good, it's really good, but when it's bad, it's like, meh. And the flashbacks, I know why they do it, but I kind of want them to. I would like to have a couple episodes here and there when there's no flashback. We don't need that backdrop all the time. You know what I mean? I know they're moving along two different storylines, basically. And eventually, I feel like the way they're setting it up is by the time the flashbacks end, that'll be the end of the show.
Right.
Oh,
Give me a sec. I'll be right back.
all right. So, I see Tire Claw's coming in here. So anyway, that's enough about TV for now. Let's look at the intergalactic star map. Kind of look at what our adventures and ponderings ahead are, and we're gonna do our usual before we go deeper. Talk a little about some of the shows we have coming up and some of the stuff going on. Some little reminders and housekeeping. Then in our creative corner, which we maybe we'll breeze through this because I know Obi's aching to talk about video games. We're gonna talk a little bit about innovation in gaming again, and more on more on the creative side. And then last in the gaming verse, we're gonna talk about the Division and something that Obi really wants to talk about and what we've been playing, some of the stuff that's been buzzing around, including the sentiment that people have that the Division is gonna be Destiny Light, which is silly, but that's what some people are saying. I see the comparison, but I think that's just people trolling because they can. So that's some of the stuff we have to look forward to. So before we go deeper, just a reminder, we do keep the show family friendly, but basically we don't cuss, but once in a while there might be some innuendos, some adult topics, and I would say consider this show PG-10, not PG-13, because let's face it, today kids are really in the know, and I think if someone's going to be a bad influence, it's not us. BFT wants to remind us that the 20-year anniversary of Resident Evil is coming up. Wow, yeah, it's been already that long. Tiger Claw wants us to talk about the new Ghostbusters, the trailer to the new Ghostbusters movies, new movie rather, which I love Ghostbusters, but I'm not excited about this movie. It takes a lot for me to get super stoked about movies. I'm more on the TV and anime side when I do get into that kind of consumption. Otherwise, I'm playing video games. Tiger Claw says he's gonna see Zootopia. He wants to know if anybody's gonna see it. That looks kind of cool. I like the animated stuff. It's cool. Can't really go wrong with that. What's the other movie that was opening this weekend? It was Zootopia and something else. I don't remember now. Anywho, Social Dozen, one of our newest shows here on the network. Session 3 is out, and we have another episode in the bank. It's kind of been our ongoing model, and so we're gonna probably keep saying that every time we do this show here. But session 4, I would say, is quite self-aware because we poke fun at ourselves a bit. We discussed the Oscars, artsy-fartsy stuff. You know, how science fiction doesn't get enough love. It's kind of a recurring theme lately. And some other stuff. Another thing we're bringing up is this question here. Does anyone really care about awards shows anymore? Did they ever care to begin with? I feel like that's a big generational gap thing. Like, I know growing up I found pageants and, you know, different Oscars and Grammys and all that kind of stuff, MTV awards, whatever they had. You know, I found it interesting at times, but the older I get, the less I feel they're relevant. It just feels like it's very incestual, perhaps, where it's just people kind of patting each other on the back, and it's not really much about the fans, the consumers, you know, the community. Now, viewer's choice, I always did like that. It's a little better when you get that viewer interaction, that audience interaction. So I think that's a caveat there. It's Tiger Claw in the chat says Zootopia is a movie made for furries. Oh boy, I might be pushing the envelope on our show here. If you don't know what a furry is, you probably don't want to know. Don't look it up. Trust me on this. But anyway, Social Dozen, we're all over and throughout feeds. I need to get us on TuneIn Radio, some other places. But if you look us up on, I don't know, Beyond Pod or iTunes, Stitcher, Player FM, we're on all the big ones. And of course, geekyantics.net/podcasts. And a short link, geekyantics.net/The Social Dozen, if you want to go to our native feed and listen to that on your computing platform of choice. And leave us voicemail for that show, for The Social Dozen. That's 201-762-4256. Again, 201-762-4256. And we have a new-ish. It's been out we have had it for a while now, but still promoting it as if it's brand new. And we're gonna do that. We're gonna do that so people leave us more messages and text us. It's a voicemail/SMS, you know, at texting hotline. Yeah, you can text us or leave us voicemail. That's right. You did not hear wrong. You can text us or leave us voicemail at 646-801-2149. 646-801-2149. That is a U.S. number, so if you're overseas, like a lot of our folks, listeners and viewers are, then long distance charges may apply unless you find some kind of VoIP solution, and, you know, that could work too. And you can also visit us at facebook.com/geekyantics or email us a short MP3 at mail@geekyantics.net, or better yet, for this show specifically, twtt@geekyantics.net. Yeah, I think I covered the plugs. You know, Twitter @geekyantics, at Yogizilla, you know, etc., etc., etc. #TWTT. And you know, you Whovians out there, I know that we're not talking much about Doctor Who right now, but we always make the reference at least, and you know, there's some tangents. Okay, there's a lot of the tangents stretches, but it's not just a Doctor Who show. But you know, I call to the Whovians because I think the Whovian community is very engaged, and I've seen this in conventions. I see this whenever you mention Doctor Who and people get excited. In fact, on Elder Scrolls Online, one of our allies is Lords of Gallifrey. Yeah, it's Xbox One, North America, Dominion, Admeri Dominion Guild. They got like 400 plus members right now, and a lot of them are Doctor Who fans. I mean, with the name like Lords of Gallifrey, right? And you know, the Whovian love is strong out there. So I know you guys are go-getters. So please leave us iTunes reviews. You know, I know it's cumbersome, but it's really important. You know, usually I don't push for it that hard. But if I don't make enough of a point of it, people won't do it. So just, if you can, right now, pause this. You know, not right now, hold on. Take about 2 to 5 minutes, you know, to go to iTunes. Now, if you're on an iOS device, Apple device, it'd probably be easier. If not, you have to do something that's a little bit of a pain in the butt. If you're not an Apple user, then you have to download iTunes on your computer, and then go in there into the podcast area. Or just use search, Let's Play Live or Timey Wimey Tea Time will come up in search, and leave us some reviews for our shows. We got other shows. We got the Sunday Dose. You can still leave reviews for that. Why not? Not Safe for Wrestling podcast, which is what the Sunday Dose feed is going to turn into. Of course, the Social Dozen. Leave reviews for all our shows, but particularly this one, because you're listening to this one now. So obviously, if you're still here, you at least are mildly entertained. That's my conclusion. I think it's a safe bet. And for those that are really engaged, you might find ways to connect with us beyond the usual social channels for more quote-unquote intimate encounters, to be best friends. We could be biffies, best friends for life. And you can participate in things like our Steam gift exchange, hashtag the gang. That's our community. Because our most engaged community members will get beta codes for stuff. I had a few gigantic beta codes I gave out. I think I have one more left. And I'm giving that first dibs to people in our Facebook group for Elder Scrolls Online. But I might have more. We also have copies of Dungeon of the Endless, Torchlight 2, Van Helsing, Speedrunners, awesome game. All of these games are awesome, really. Rocket League, a lot, and tons more. And I think Oolong was saying he has a 4-pack of a golf game. It has a weird name, Velocious Golf or Dangerous Golf, something like that. Some dangerous golf game or other. Our Steam community is steamcommunity.com/groups/geeky antics. And they'll say horseplay, but it's the official Geeky Antics Steam community group. I'm debating too. I think people don't really like engaging with Facebook pages as much. So I think I might make a Facebook group just for our community. So let me know if that's something you'd be interested in. And then we'll connect on Facebook, and I'll send you an invite. I'm thinking I'll just make the group open so anyone can join. But then you get bots. That's the problem. Then they start to spam. So maybe I will make it private. I don't know. I'll make it private so you can find it, and then people could just apply and do it that way. We'll see. I like having open community, but then Facebook has really big problems with bots. It's kind of a pain in the butt. It's always the same thing. It's like really cute person wants to be your friend. Like, I don't know who this person is, but they're easy on the eyes. Follow. Buy this thing. Yay. Click on this link. Don't worry. It's cool. So, folks, you can listen to us live every other Saturday, usually. I haven't taken a break yet, but, there might be a time where I might need to unplug a little bit and kind of catch back up with things. Because life happens, right? You can find us at allgames.com/live, and the video feed is at twitch.tv/geeky antics. And be sure to check out our other shows on our respective networks, specifically allgames.com, Geeky Antics, and also, our friends over at Tangent Bound Network, Muses of a Geek, and by extension, Wicked Radio Network. Just keep in mind. I'm also going to shout out Hollow Sweet Media. They're good people over there. I'm sure I'm forgetting other people, but we have a lot of different affiliates and partners, and it's hard to keep track of sometimes and fit everybody in there. But you know what? Just keep in mind, the other shows may not be your cup of tea, and they may not be safe for work, they may not be safe for kids. So that's my disclaimer. And what else do we have? Last thing I would say as far as plugs go, check out our sponsors, our heroes, people like Vince Martin and Martin Septic Services over at martinseptictanksga.com or /geekyantics.net geekyantics.net/Martin Septic. I can't talk today. Or just everybody else. You can find them all over our Hall of Heroes, geekyantics.net/sponsors. Give that a look-see and show some love, comment, do all that social stuff. We're skipping the news today, so there won't be a Who News segment. We're going to kind of sprinkle in news here and there. And Opie's been gone for a while. I hope he's alright. He sounded really concerned earlier. But, let's keep it moving. Because I don't think he's back yet. No, I don't see anything. Alright. Well, it's time for our Creative Corner, folks. And this is, if you're new to the show, this is where we usually have little creative prompts, tips, introspective thoughts, inspirational quotes, writing ideas, design ideas, And the timey-wimey tea time word of the day, the TWTT word of the day. And I just put some more in this. You might hear me typing sometimes during this show because these show notes actually go out to the public, so you guys can see my thought process and get an idea of all the stuff we discuss. You know, it's a pretty hefty document. I might have to cut it down for consumption, but this is how my brain works. If you're ready to take that to get into that, then yeah, there you go. Now, usually when I introduce the TWTT word of the day, I have a little funny spiel, but I'm not going to do that. I'm just going to go straight into it because I'm probably going to butcher this. The word of the day is, it comes from dictionary.com, by the way, so I'll at least say that, is rhodomantade. Rhodomantade, I believe is how you say it. Rhodomantade. And I just saw that. I'm like, that's a ridiculous word. I've never heard that used in an everyday situation. I think I've read it in the book maybe 2 times in my life. And I'm pretty decently well read. But I was like, I'm going to throw this one in here. Why not? And I'll butcher the pronunciation. Why not? And this is what the definition is. It's a noun meaning vainglorious boasting or bragging, pretentious, blustering talk, or it's an adjective that means bragging. Which is probably the kind of stuff that I don't like. I don't like that kind of behavior. So if you're into the rhodomantade behavior, no me gusta. And here's it used in a quote. The slope I have the honor to command is always ready to put to sea, said Clonfert. There was mere rhodomantade. No ship was always ready to put to sea unless she never used any water, stores, powder, or shot. And that's from Patrick O'Brien, the Mauritius Command from 1977. Now the origin. Rhodomantade stems from the name of a boastful king. Now that makes sense. Rhodamante. In the Italian epic poems Orlando Innamorato from 1483 and Orlando Furioso from 1516. And it entered English in the early 1600s. There you go. You're welcome. There's a word you probably never use, but if someone tries to pull a fast one on you and they just use that, try to bring it to the vernacular, you could be like, hold on there, buddy. I know what you're doing here, and I know what you're saying. You can't fool me, because I am educated. Yes, that's right. That's not really a word, but some people will say it anyway. I'm learned. I'm quite learned. And what is Opie doing? He just, you back, Opie? Nope, he's got himself muted. Hopefully it's just his dog and not something more serious. Yeah, but that's serious too. If something happens to your pets, I don't know. For me, it's something that's super impactful. Having to put down an animal or deal with a sick pet, it tugs on your heartstrings, man. Sometimes more so than it's a human being because they're so helpless. It's like, wow, at least a human being we can communicate more and kind of softens the blow, right? I don't know. That's my mindset. It's like, I'm going to bum myself out. Good Lord. I'm about to remember something sad. I don't want to be sad. This is tea time. It's supposed to be a happy place, a safe place to talk about stuff. That's what we're going to do. So, we were going to talk about, we're going to do our little usual creative conundrum where we kind of talk about different creative issues. So, I think we'll table this for now and see if Obi comes back. It might be a short show because I'm streamlining everything. I was streamlining everything for the sake of more conversation. But now there's no one here to talk with. Kind of awkward. Yep, it happens. It happens, but you know what? You just adapt. You push onward. So let's go straight into the Gameverse. So the big reveal. Hopefully Opie will come back to talk more to this, but Opie has an Xbox One. So Well, we play Xbox One together, and being the good friend and team player that he is, he's got his bad points. He's definitely a salty dog, but he tries to do the community thing and involve everybody. So he got an Xbox One. He got the bundle with Rainbow Six Siege, and by extension, you get Rainbow Six Vegas and Vegas 2 in digital form. So we play that together, and he got Call of Duty, like poopy. I know that pun. That's an old pun. But he got Call of Duty Black Ops 3. So you can play with Oolong, who was never really around anyway. Come on, Oolong. What are you doing? So, Rainbow Six Siege, clearly the superior shooter. But, we'll have something to play with together. I'm still surprised. Everybody was so hyped on Rainbow Six Siege, and the people that said they were going to get it didn't get it, and the people that didn't even have it on the radar ended up getting it and loving it. That's kind of how it works out, isn't it? You can't plan for these things. Have some coffee here. Nom. So there's been some buzz about Destiny 2, and there's a lot of misinformation out there. I thought I got a press release with some official information. Let's see if I could pull up something. Pull up the PR list. Try to do some keyword searching. Because I thought I saw something big about it. Because a lot of the stuff is kind of speculation, right? And there was some old stuff, like this old stuff in there in the news feeds that is still showing up at the top of the search results if you're looking for information. Hey, Morg, what you doing? But I don't know what I did with it. I'm so prepared, ain't I? But there's a lot of buzz going on around about Destiny 2, and since for like 3-4 years ago, when when Destiny was just an idea, even Bungie was very firm on saying that they weren't gonna do a subscription model, right? They said that's not their thing, and the game's not an MMO; it's a shared world shooter, and yada yada yada. But now apparently there's a lot of buzz going around. I don't know if it's officially confirmed. Some people are saying it's confirmed, but I have not seen this information myself, so I'm not gonna say that. But apparently they're doing a 180, and they're gonna, for Destiny 2, which is slated for 2017 so far, they're gonna embrace the fact that it is an MMO, and they're gonna do a subscription model. Which, if you look at a lot of places, and places like Forbes, which Forbes has no idea about the gaming industry, but they try. They still they make some good points here and there, but they're so out of touch with the gaming industry. I feel like, I think I read them just out of morbid. Read Forbes gaming industry articles just for the morbid curiosity, because they missed the mark so much. You could tell like the people writing about it are not really gamers. So yeah, there's apparently some word on the street that you'll have to subscribe to play Destiny 2.
It's not word on the street. It's definite.
Have you found a press release for this? Because a lot of it is.
Let me get it.
Is
I'll get
third.
it for you.
Okay. Because everything I found, and I'm subscribed to a lot of PR lists, I didn't get anything confirmed from Bungie themselves. It's all third-party people saying it. Let's see. Destiny 2 will be pay to play. Let's do that. That should probably come up with something. See, and everything on the top of the list is all speculation. If it was a firm thing, the search results would show an article that's a credible source. Let's see, Destiny 2 subscription model. Let's try that.
Dude, that source is not there anymore.
Yeah. That's what I'm thinking. I think what happened, because a lot of people were reporting this, and no one had, a firm source. It was all like third-party people. I think it was something that was taken out of context, and that's what he reported. Because, and it's funny too, because in 2013, Bungie said there's absolutely no plans to charge a subscription fee for Destiny, and I think for them to do that on Destiny 2 would be silly. So
I do know that they are going to more to the more of the micro transaction format more than they already have now, but they're actually moving that forward. I know though.
See, that's fine. I have no problem with that if the game is cheaper up front. I know a lot of people hate microtransactions, but I'd rather pay $20 for a game and have microtransactions. So if I don't really play the game that much, or I don't really
you're only out $20.
I'm only out $20 exactly. But then paying $60 plus tax, and then you have microtransactions and
everywhere
then DLC.
I'm looking, every single place that I'm looking, and I've been researching because last time you said it, because when getting the Xbox One, I was looking at Destiny 2 because that's something that you play, that's something that I could possibly get into, and I was looking at it, doing my own research, and they're still saying Destiny. I mean, all over the place. They're still saying Destiny 2 in the fall of 2016 is still going to be $60.
Yeah, and it's weird, and like I said, Forbes has some write up on it, talking about.
Sorry about that. My dad came by and I had to show him my new gun and all that other crap.
Oh, you sounded sad. I thought something happened to your dog or something.
No, my dad came. Well, I was sad because he comes over at the most unopportune times.
No,
like, hey, I just want to see your new gun that you just bought. Yeah.
Yeah, but you didn't sound You didn't sound like annoyed. Like I know you were annoyed. Like you got annoyed because Blue was being super loud last show. That I know your annoyed voice. Listen. Blue is part of the show. When we do late night shows, she just wants to be in there. Like right now, you don't hear her. She's walking around. She's fine. But at night, like it's like the neighborhood cats come around and they're calling for her, or the owl is in the backyard and she freaks out. She's like meow meow meow.
You know I love Blue.
she's just part of the show.
Can't stand that dang cat sometimes, but I love her.
But yeah, you sounded legit like sad. I thought like maybe your dog got sick or got into something or got hurt somehow, and I think, uh-oh. That's what I thought. That was my go-to right away. And then I got off on a tangent about how pets being hurt is actually sometimes more heartbreaking than a human being hurt because they're so helpless and you feel like lost. You don't know what to do. Then I get bum myself out.
Right. Well, Sadie with me, she's actually got like a skin condition. To where if I don't use the exact shampoo that she needs to have, she breaks out and hives everywhere.
Are you using that the sulfur lime based thing that they have that you use for horses and dogs?
No, that's bad for dogs, man.
I don't remember. There's one that's like a dog version of that.
No, I don't use that because I don't want any extra stuff. I actually go to the vet and I get shampoo from the vet because that's all she can use. I've tried probably 15 to 20 different kinds of dog shampoos, and she breaks out from every one of them.
Yeah, well, that breed and similar breeds, they tend to have a lot of skin issues. They're very sensitive skin. They get hot spots, hives, rashes. Yeah, it's
wait till I move out of here where I'm at now, and I can actually have my I can actually have a pit bull and a Rottweiler. Rottweilers are my most favorite dogs in the world.
Oh, they're sweet but they're drool machines. They love to play.
I don't care about drool. Last time I had a Rottweiler, his name was Moose, and the reason because homeboy was like 150 pounds. I mean, he was huge. Like his head. I could almost comfortably, if I opened his mouth and stuck my head in his mouth, I could almost fit my whole head into my head.
Oh, yeah.
Massive head.
They have massive heads. Yeah, you say moose, and I'm thinking supernatural now.
Yeah.
But
that's the guy's name, the fire guy, yeah.
No, the fire guy, what? I'm talking about.
I'm just kidding. Yo, calm down.
You're trolling.
I just confused the crap out of Yogi.
Yeah, you took me like to a whole different place. I mean, it's funny because I just looked further into this whole Destiny 2 thing, and the only thing that came is slightly relevant is Forbes talking about how Destiny is a game, not a revenue stream. They should have committed to treating it as a platform,
Hmm.
and I think more games should move this way instead of annualizing or just like bringing out regular content until they come up with a new game. I think it should just be this is the core product. Develop the expectation. We're gonna build out from this. We're gonna expand, and we're gonna keep retooling until we like perfect the experience. But don't worry, the initial buy-in is super cheap. We wanted many people to play this game. I think it peaked. I think Destiny peaked at around 10 million players,
But they won't do that.
and it's fell off.
They look at they look at something like that, and then they go, well, the numbers are too low for the initial. Because if you think about it, and you can agree or disagree, when anything comes out like this, a movie, a game, anything, the initial 2 weeks or to a month worth of sales, that's the greater part of their sales. And you think about, and I know, don't quote me on it, but don't think about it like, oh, Black Ops 3 is still selling a whole bunch. Yeah, I'm talking about like the first initial month where Black Ops 3 and I'm going to say Xbox because anyway, it sold 2 million copies in the first month. It's still selling quite a bit. When anybody gets an Xbox, you have the Xbox 3 bundle, you have you had the Destiny bundle, you got the Lara Croft bundle, you got the Siege bundle, you got the new one that's coming out, the Division bundle's coming out here in a week. You got all this other stuff that it's coming out with. But like I said, it's that first month, maybe month and a half where everything that's where they get their primary, and that continued not just with games, but with movies too. Coming out. That's what they do. Like you hear a movie coming out saying, we made $20 million in the first weekend. Yes, that's what you're going to make. You might make 100 million total, but that's going to be over the life of it's in the theater, which is probably 2 or 3 months.
Yeah, well, the thing is, part of the issue is there's a lot of problems, and probably beating this to death. But I think a big part of the problem is that they had to cater to multiple consoles. Now, if they just focus on next gen for the next game, they wet the palate. But again, they should have developed this expectations to begin with, because if they're gonna come out with another expansion this year and maybe 2 more, I don't even know anymore, and I really don't care anymore. They lost me already. But then they're gonna come out with a new game. I think they need to commit to that game as a platform and kind of be more like WoW, where you buy the base game and then they have expansions, and to kind of keep it fresh. So you always have more stuff to do. And again, like some people were trolling. They said that the Division come out this week, and people were trolling saying, "Oh, it's gonna be a watered down Destiny." I'm like, no, Destiny is a watered down Destiny, because Destiny is so small. That's why they didn't want to call it MMO. Because it's a tiny world.
Destiny's a watered down Division.
Yeah. I mean, the Division, those areas reward exploration. They're interesting. There's so much to do. Destiny, it looks expansive. It creates an illusion, but it's really, for the most part, an on-rails experience. It's such a tiny world. That's why they didn't want to call it MMO, because it's not really massive. It's just the same few places, same few locales, and then it's like, whoop, that's it. But anyway, we won't get into it because the bitterness might come in. But I think they need to really reassess what they do with the next game. I might buy it back into it. I'm being hard on it, but I think I might. If I see them really committed to making this, doing the right things. Another thing too is Bungie messed up. They left Microsoft to get freedom, and then they went to Activision, which is even worse. Activision is spoiled by Call of Duty. That's a consistent revenue stream for them. And they have microtransactions in that too, with all the skins and whatnot, right? Destiny needs to have some kind of consistent income stream, a good revenue stream, so that Activision would devote more resources to it and give Bungie a little more freedom, so they could do what they really want to do with it, and stop using the excuse of, this is what happened. Because you could tell with Destiny, they were pressured, and they couldn't do what they wanted with it. But even so, why did they make Halo again? I don't know. There's just so many things that don't sit right with me. Okay, I'm moving on.
I could have. Yeah, we'll talk when we talk about the in the games thing. We'll talk about.
Oh, we're in the gaming verse right now. I jumped straight ahead. I didn't know if you were coming back.
Yeah, sorry. Like I said, it was something that I had to take care of.
No, it's a you know. I mean, what do you want to say about it before we move on?
Can I talk about it now?
Is it Destiny related or something else?
No.
Oh!
Yeah,
I already introduced it earlier. You missed it. You can't talk about it now.
Oh, okay.
I'm kidding. But there's a few more items real quick, and then we'll get into that.
Yeah, go ahead.
So we were talking about before on Let's Play Live. Phil Spencer talking about how if you're a true gamer, you don't want a company to fail. And he wants Xbox One to grow due to its own merits, not the failure of others. Right. So a console should do well because it's a great console and it's growing and it's being creative and it's innovating, not because the competition is failing. And I totally appreciate that. And I think that's all I'm gonna say about it on here. I think everybody, and I think we talked about it a lot on other shows. I think console wars have a place because it gets conversations going. It's not a bad thing in itself. It's only bad when people take it to an extreme and are just really nasty about it. Because at the end of the day, competition is a good thing. So I like Phil Spencer.
Of course, because you got to think about it too. If the competition was not there, and I'm just gonna say it, if everybody's backing PS4 and well, let me put this around because I don't see Microsoft failing. If everybody's backing Microsoft and they're like pro Xbox, they're doing stuff with Windows and they're closing the gap really, really fast. And if everybody's behind them and PS4 fails, or the PlayStation or the Sony fails, what competition is Microsoft going to have? So Microsoft's going to be like, ha, we don't have to keep our prices low anymore. Time to make some money.
Yeah, it keeps everybody in check.
Prices, if you think about something you look at something and you get a bundle, say for Xbox One, and it's $399. If there was no competition, that bundle would be $600.
Oh yeah, and you know what? I think just by the nature of what consoles are, I think the highest we ever, unless you consider inflation, but I think the highest we'll ever see consoles at is 600. After that, it becomes a point of why just get a PC. And Microsoft already announced that they're planning to blur the lines between console and PC, so there's no line anymore. So that they're even talking about using the same media across platforms, so that'd be interesting. Having the Windows ecosystem built to consoles. I don't think consoles will disappear completely because the thing about console is the out-of-box experience and the uniformity. It's convenient. You don't have to mess with settings. You could play with your friends, and everybody gets the same experience. It reduces a lot of the variables that make it hard for games to perform, right? And it also reduces a lot of the hacking and the botting and all that silly stuff. So that's nice. I think consoles will always have its place. As much as we love PC, PC Master Race and all that good stuff, consoles will always have a place because of that, because it makes it more accessible, and then initial buy-in is far lower than building a good computer,
Right.
But Microsoft, I think Microsoft's heading in the right direction, and I think Phil Spencer makes sense with with the way he handled the trolls on Twitter in particular. Because so people say wave the white flag already. You're giving props, you're giving kudos to your competition. Just give up already. No, he's right. I see what he's saying. You gotta give credit where it's due, and I like that because if you look at I'm not gonna get to political discussions, but politics is all about slinging mud. It's slinging dirt at people. It's not about what do you really stand for. Your platform is the least of the concern. It's more of what dirt can you dig up on the other person. How bad can you make the other people look, And the gaming industry has been like that a lot too. It's wait, I know that this our console doesn't do this, but look at what they did. Or look what they can't do. Oh, they can't do this. We can. Oh, look what they did. Oh, they said they did this thing, and look at that policy they wanted to do. They changed it, but they wanted to do this thing. That's been this whole generation. Everybody just lingering on what Microsoft's old announcements that they backpedaled on. Which Microsoft wasn't alone on them, but they were the most vocal about it, and people have crucified them, and that's why, as far as sales go, PlayStation 4 is still leading the pack. But sales don't matter. At the end of the day, this is what matters: what console, what platform are you enjoying and getting your money's worth on? That's it. Right? Okay, good talk.
Yeah, I'm here. Like I said, I'm still setting everything up.
He's unpacking his Xbox One. Yeah, I know what's going on. Last bit of news here. The retro VGS, Coleco Chameleon, dead before crowdfunding even started. So there was a Kickstarter slated to start, and then they canceled it. And a lot of drama behind it, a lot of politics, What I found interesting is that Coleco Holdings, which is still around, it's still a company, they said they're excited about the project, and they what they want to do is get involved in terms of quality assurance. They want to to see prototypes and test them before they hit the market or any kind of funding starts. So it's kind of neat. I liked, I kind of, and again, this kind of shows, like, as much as we're really big on, re-releasing games and having digital distribution and emulating, there's something nice about having physical media, having dedicated consoles for particular uses. And I gotta say, it would be cool to see a console that's dedicated to just retro experiences, kind of like the Ouya was supposed to be, and sadly didn't do well, and let you play old Atari, maybe like I would say from Atari 2600, ColecoVision and television through NES at least, or maybe even 16-bit era, and have emulation and all of that, but have also not just be able to download, but also have physical media for select games. That'd be neat, I think we lost a lot of the intimacy of the industry, and this is kind of the stuff they're trying to push for. Unfortunately, there's a lot of shady stuff going on. So hopefully, hopefully it'll stick. I think there's clearly a desire, but it's also scary when you consider that. I think for the retro VGS, they were going for, the last time they tried to seek funding, they were going for 1.6 million, 1.2 million in crowdfunding alone, and they only hit 80K. Not even 10% of what they were going for. So I don't know, it's weird. I think there is a need there. I think people still see the value in consoles, but I think that whole business is more a reflection of people not trusting the people, the team behind the project rather than the actual idea. There's a lot of great concepts and ideas, but what about the team behind it? Do you trust them with your money? Do you think they can get it done? Will they get it done right? That's why I think that's what's really coming to play with that. So I don't know. And look at it. Retro games now, the premium on retro gaming has gone up big time. If you collect arcade cabinets, restore them, or build them from scratch, do a main cabinet, or if you're buying old consoles and old games. I mean, I think DuckTales 2 on the NES, I saw it for $800 or something silly like that.
Yeah, mint condition, $850.
Crazy.
Yeah.
I used to.
That's just a part of you looking at if you think about you go off and hit baseball cards up or football cards or some the Matchbox metal cars. It's just the same thing. It's a collector's item.
The die-cast metal, those were
Collectors
great.
will pay out the butt for that. I mean, they will pay. And
pay
big.
But I mean, $5 maybe 10 years ago, the market wasn't as strong for retro. It was still cheap to buy, especially when Funko Land was around, when it was still called Funko Land. You could buy a lot of the old things for cheap. Like now, people are really like buying this stuff up, and there's less stuff in circulation. The demand is up, and the supply is lower, right? 'Cause people don't want to let go of these things.
Right.
So like, I think that's a reflection of how much more the gaming industry has grown, as far as the fanfare goes. How much more we've grown as people growing up with video games and getting old, and now like we're getting nostalgic. We're missing the good old days, so we're hanging on to that. And also I think, but I would like to think it's a big reason, if not the biggest reason it's happening, is because people miss the magic of video games. When you would open up a game, you had an instruction manual, and there wasn't a, you put the game in there. There wasn't a tutorial. It didn't force you through the mechanics. You just played it. You lost yourself in it, and you try to figure it out, and just get lost in that experience. It wasn't like, all right, this is how you play, and here's some cheat codes, and here's a website, and here's a walkthrough video. I think a lot of that stuff has ruined the discovery and the magic of it all.
Mm-hmm.
But it's also the way the games are marketed and distributed that's hurting that as well. So, and it's not just nostalgia. I think this a magic we need to recapture. Little side note, we will talk about what we've been playing in a bit here, but we should play more Heroes of the Storm. We're definitely gonna play more Rainbow Six Siege now, and Dungeon of the Endless. Maybe even some Gigantic and Rocket League. Yeah.
Yeah, but like Rainbow Six Siege is gonna be on Xbox and and everything else is on PC.
Yeah. Well, we got people all over. We got Xbox One listeners. We got PC gamers. We even have some people that have Wii U and PS4 that actually play games online, which is weird. Who would have thought? Now I'm trolling. All right, so Obi, you got an Xbox One. You get the bundle
I did.
with Rainbow Six Siege, and then the digital copy of Vegas and Vegas 2.
Yep.
Which is backwards compatible. I have that installed as well. Great game. Great games, rather.
Well, basically what I got, and I'll tell everybody real quick. Got the like you said, the Rainbow Six Siege bundle, and I could have gotten like the Tomb Raider or Halo 5 or anything, but I was thinking about games that, like, what are people playing? Of course Yogi's playing Siege, so that was like a no-brainer. And then I got one extra game with it, and that was another game that more friends play. So I'll be able to play games, and then of course the Xbox Live. I got a year of that, plus now games with gold comes with Xbox Live now. So I have games with gold, so I'll be able to do all that. And then now I do want to put this out there. I do have a 14-day free trial. Now, if anybody's thinking about getting, Xbox Live or anything like that, hit me up first. I'll give you a free trial code. It's a 14-day trial for it. It comes with games with gold for 14 days, and then it'll give you a little bit of time to actually get your year subscription and come play with us, of course. We'll be streaming. We will be streaming this. What else do I want to say?
I don't know.
That's about it.
Boots and cats.
And I got the controller that came with it. I didn't get I'm gonna get the Elite controller here when they have more. And then of course I got the wireless controller, charger, and all that good stuff. So we're good to go, man.
Mm-hmm.
Now I have to figure out how to set it all up. So
Not too bad. You just gotta plug it in and start downloading all the updates and stuff, though.
Yeah, that's kind of what I'm doing. I don't want to get too much into it because I need to get up and go to the other side of the computer and actually plug everything in. But yeah, I'm happy I'm stoked. I can't wait.
Plus, you got the 1 terabyte, so you don't have to worry.
I did get the 1 tera. I've been asking people left and right, dude, what do I want to get? What do I want to get? He goes, dude, I'll tell you one thing. If you get the 500 gigabyte Xbox, you are going to be so sad. I was like, why? Because you have to think about it. Each game is between 30 and 50 gigabytes.
Mm-hmm.
So if you say you have 20 games on there, that's over 500 gigs.
Yep. Everybody,
So, like-
and that's a big problem on PS4 and Xbox when people have to play the musical chairs, delete, and install new games.
Yep. Well, with me, see, and I can tell you guys, I probably could have gotten a 500 gig because I'm only going to be playing certain games. Now, when it comes down to it, like you know dang well, I'm going to be playing Siege. You know, we're going to be playing that. I'm going to be playing Black Ops 3 with Fatal and the team. I'm going to be playing Madden. I'm going to be playing maybe NBA 2K16 or a soccer game. I'm going to be playing those sports games just because when I'm on console, I play sports games. That's just how I've always been from Sega Genesis. The only other game that I played on Sega Genesis was Sonic. And what else do you think I played? I played Madden because, that was cool back then. But like
Sonic is still cool.
Dude, Sonic is way cool, dude. I still have Sonic that I play on the TV out in the living room. But it's just something that, the only reason I did get the terabyte is because of games with gold.
Yeah,
I know there
well,
is a...
not just that. I mean, you pay the same price. Like, if you're gonna pay the same price for a 500 gig or 1 terabyte, why wouldn't you get the 1 terabyte?
That's exactly why too. The 500 gig was $350, and the terabyte was $400.
Okay, but
like-
still,
I was
$50
like, wait,
difference for
I
twice.
was like $50 difference, and I get a whole extra. I get double the space. Sold.
No, and I think the 1 terabyte, if I'm not mistaken, all the 1 terabyte models use a hybrid SSD, so it's a faster hard drive too.
Yes, it is. Like I said, I've been doing research for the last 2 months because I was seriously thinking of PlayStation 4. I don't know why, but I was thinking because whenever I'm doing and I bought a new gun yesterday too for my concealed carry, but whenever I went, like even when I went to buy my pistol, it was like constant research, like what kind of gun do I want, what how wide do I want it to be, how big do I mean it's gonna be hidden in my on my belt, so like what kind of a gun do I want? What kind of a console do I want? Doing all the research, everything that there was good points about PS4 and good points about Xbox. They both have pros and cons. That's how anything is. But when it come down to it, and thinking like how many people do I know that have Xbox Ones? A lot, including you, including Fatal. I know BFT's got a PlayStation 4, but he's got an Xbox 2. He's got an Xbox One as well. So, like, how many people have PlayStations? I could